can start finding our seats and where we're going to be comfortable for today's program. Oh, I think we have a bunch of pros here today. Our regulars. Hi, Joe. So you're going to not have to be there, Tony, because you're going to have to go all the way around. So find a closer spot. And Christina, you're going to come on the side. So. Okay, where's mine, Ian? Where's Ian? Okay, you're ready. All right, everyone, we're going to get started here with 1 Million Cups. So good to see so many familiar faces here. So I'm Melissa Wilson. I am one of the volunteer organizers for 1 Million Cups. I'm a co-lead with Daryl, who's up here in the front manning our Zoom and our Zoom room. Daryl, how many people do you have on Zoom today?
Good question. At least 5.
At least 5. Okay, and then we also have our YouTube live going. So when you come up to the microphone or when you come up to the microphone, you'll be on these 2 devices, a Zoom room and YouTube live. Just letting you guys know. I know I see a lot of familiar faces, so most of you know this already. So welcome back to 1 Million Cups. So first, how many people here in the room, if you could raise your hand, are returnees? You come back to 1 Million Cups on the regular. Thank you. Yes, that's a good amount of folks. All right, how many here have presented before in 1 Million Cups? Your past presenter. Keep your hands up for a second. Thank you. Okay, great. Thank you guys for coming back and continue to pay it forward in this ecosystem. It's really important. How many here are new attendees? Have never been to 1 Million Cups before? Welcome. There's 5 people, right? So if you guys can hold your hands up, actually, we have a gift for you for coming. PJ here, who's one of our volunteer organizers and MCs. We're going to pass around something to keep you coming back and have you take notes in so that you can always, continue to come back and keep these good thoughts and ideas in top of mind. Oh yeah, that light, I think I'm in the middle of the. All right, so I'd also like to point out that we have a couple special guests in the audience today from our 1 Million Cups headquarters. If you guys wouldn't mind standing up, this is Emma, our Executive Director for 1 Million Cups National, and Belinda, who is one of our 2 regional directors. So these folks help us immensely. Thank you guys for coming. They help us immensely in the back office kind of work that it takes our organizing team to do to present these events every single week, every single Wednesday. They're visiting us here from Kansas City, Missouri. So feel free to say hi to them and let them know how much you enjoy this community, just like we do. All right, so speaking of the 1 Million Cups Kaufman community, before that, let me just say hi to our organizers. How many organizers are here today? If you guys want to stand up, we put in a lot of time and effort. Thanks all of you volunteer organizers. Right? Is the next slide asking them, Daryl? About 1 Million Cups. Okay, so let's just talk briefly about 1 Million Cups. We have at least 5 new people in the room today. It is a free nationwide program that specifically is trying to engage our local entrepreneurs, right? We want people that are starting up businesses or making an impact by either having an idea or presenting their business to, or pitching their business, in the community to be able to have support, and in a room like ours is, right? We are offering the opportunity to present your business here, not pitch. You get just a couple minutes to present who you are, where you're stuck, and what problem you're facing right now, where your challenge is a business, and that's where us as a community can come in and support that business owner. So we have 2 people presenting today. So 1 Million Cups was started in 2012 by Ewing Marion Kaufman, and he's a big philanthropist. He actually passed away, unfortunately, in 2016, but his legacy continues with the foundation that helps run our 1 Million Cups community. So we are, as you guys know, we're operating from a licensed framework. That's why it's kind of the same thing each week. We want it to be like that, so people coming here on the regular can get the same program, and people who are visiting for the first time, you'll have a great experience. And then all of you can continue to pass around the good news about 1 Million Cups Detroit-Metro, that we meet every Wednesday morning, 8:30 a.m. networking. We always have a coffee sponsor, and we are always welcoming, and we want to be inclusive, and we want to hear from you, and we would love you to be part of our community. All right, if you didn't do this part yet, hold up your phone and scan in. If you did do this, it's because we passed around an iPad, which is the way we're doing signups now, right? For those online, we're just counting you as a number, so don't worry about that. And then we always are looking for presenters. Now, we are booked. I'll put up who we're upcoming for presenters here in just a minute, but we are booked into April. So if you're interested in presenting your startup business, you have to be about 5 years or younger in startup stage, and then you just apply onelioncups.com/present and point out our ecosystem, our community, which is Detroit Metro. Have the opportunity to present in Ann Arbor. So we have a community in Ann Arbor that's been around about 6 months now. And we also are looking for organizers, right? So we have a bunch of organizers now, quite a few, but we are looking for one role in particular, which is the social media support person. So we're looking for an intern to help us with that. We put it out on our LinkedIn. So if anyone has anyone in their community that's someone that's looking to sort of get some good experience, we do have a pretty well-oiled machine, but we would like to have to support entrepreneurs, and we would like to have someone else kind of jump in and give us some fresh eyes on our social media. And then coffee sponsors, right? That's our final ask, is that we do have a coffee sponsor every week. We typically have here between 30, 40 people, sometimes as many as 60 to 65 people. So when you sponsor coffee, you buy the coffee and donuts. Thank you, Christina, this morning. Christina is one of our volunteer organizers, and she has an accounting business, and she's our coffee sponsor today, so she'll get a couple minutes to pitch on the microphone. So if you do want to sponsor coffee, if you think that's going to be a benefit for your business or yourself, please speak to Carmen in the black and white checkered sweater, or to Josh, who's the facilitating manager of this building in Incubizo, and they will get you signed up to do coffee. So we'd also like to thank Josh and Carmen as our community sponsor, this workspace in Incubizo. Let's clap it up for them. Thank you, guys. It's been a really great experience, and we hope it continues on for. Now, speaking of that, this is an active workspace, so we do need to kind of wrap up our own personal networking by 10:30 or 11, right, Josh, around that time? And then 10:30. Carmen's saying 10:30. She's not making any moves on that. So 10:30, you want to kind of move your networking to either another coffee shop. Detroit Desert Coffee Oasis is right around the corner from here, or just move to another workspace. And you are able to stay and work here in this communal space for the rest of the day if you would like to, as Josh's guest. Okay? All right. Here are our upcoming presenters today. We have your digital handyman, and we have an update from LaBelle with LaBelle Detailing, Blossom, and Freebie Coffee. So we have two presenters where you see the ampersand. We'll have two presenters. Sometimes we'll only have one. So just giving you a heads up that we are booked. Please keep coming. All of these businesses could use your help. And as you know, we never know what the help's going to look like until it's happening. So I'd like to invite up Christina, please. And if you want to take a couple minutes.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Christina Maurice, for those that don't know me, and I'm the owner of Alexander County. I do individual tax prep, corporate tax prep. We also do bookkeeping and payroll, whether that's all full circle or just doing your quarterlies or your W-2s and 1099s also. I've been around for about 20 years doing this. Pretty much my whole adult career. Alexander Accounting's been in existence since 2011. Originally I was in Jackson. I've only been over here 2 years, so I'm still making my way through the community and figuring out everything. Our office is located in Royal Oak at 12 and Stevenson, and my website is right there. That's the best way to contact me or send an email. It's tax season time now, so yeah, we're really busy, but definitely please contact me if you have any questions.
Thank you so much for providing the copy this morning on your presentation. All right, so let's get started. Since we have two presenters, it's going to be, just, I'm going to go here, right? Daryl, can you help me move it forward on the next slide? All right, so this is a new slide for us. So I always, as you know, talk about parameters when it's coming to the time to give feedback to the presenters who are up here. So when you are coming up to give feedback, when both Tony and Ian put up their slide where they are asking us our community question, then when you come up, make sure you're kind of offering an experience that's worked for you or hasn't worked for you in relation to that specific question. Make sure that you're, when you get on the microphone, you're asking them to clarify their question or maybe offer a collaboration or a connection for them later. But know that you know, just take a minute or two on the microphone. It's not a spot to like promote your business or anything, but you're welcome to say your name and your business name and offer your educational support to the speaker. Okay, so just wanted to mention that since we have 2 speakers today, we want to just keep an eye on our timing. And when you do come up to give feedback, you want to come up here to my left hand, your right hand side, and you will have to be on the microphone because we have YouTube Live that we provide back to our presenters as a recording, and we have a Zoom room, and they can hear much better when we're on the microphone. All right, and if you don't want to speak on the microphone, but you have something you want to share with the presenter that comes up, we will have a slide for each of them for contacting them after they're done with their presentation. All right, sound good? All of those are in place. And this is not clicking, so there it is. Okay. Tony, I would like to invite you to come up here, take the microphone, and go for your presentation. There's that. The one on the right. Okay. There you go. You're up.
Hi, I'm Anthony Maurice with Your Digital Handyman. So it all started with my son Elliot. He's 10 years old and suffers from a really rare genetic condition called palliserculia. So he can't walk, can't talk, he's in a wheelchair. So I went through my house and I replaced all my light switches with ones that work with Alexa. Because when you're carrying around a 100-pound baby, the last thing you want to be doing is fumbling for a light switch. So it just got me to thinking how much easy, cheap technology was out there that people might not know about, people might not have the knowledge to install. So I've been going into people's houses and helping them out with what I can do to make their lives easier through technology and all this fancy stuff that people don't know. Okay. Another aspect of my job has been senior safety. A lot of people are staying in their homes maybe a little longer than they should. What can we do to get in there, make their lives easier, make it safer? We put doorbells in with cameras so that they know who's coming. Just the light switches alone. You know, you looking at your parents' light switch. I mean, you're looking at your parents' house. The light switch went down, pop down about 10 o'clock. Maybe they're up at 8, 9 usually. Maybe it's time to give them a call, check them out. We have all kinds of safety sensors where it can detect if they've fallen and notify authorities or you to maybe take care of that, such as on the stove if they're overheating. We can have them automatically turning the stove off, prevent a fire, all kinds of stuff. Also, indoor outdoor stuff. Who has 10 million cables outside their house hanging off the pole in their yard, but they don't know what's what, they don't know what's going to hurt them, what's not. I'll go in and remove all the wiring. I know what you need, what you don't. I'll cut it off the pole, all the dish lines, just get rid of everything that people don't need anymore. A lot of commercial stuff, I'll do small business stuff. There's an in-between space that really isn't represented much where you have a bad camera in your business. No one's going to come out and replace that camera. They're going to come out and want $5,000 to replace this whole new security system with their stuff. So I do a lot of just minor repairs that just isn't worth it for the big IT companies stuff to do. A big project I just did recently was they ordered one of those huge Canon printers that has 6 different stages and all this, and Canon wouldn't touch it. They're just trying to sell them a new printer and they couldn't get anyone to install it. So I installed this big, huge printer just kind of the side. So my issues is getting out there. This technology and stuff is very out there, but people who need it are probably the most scared. So how do I get the people who need it, who I can help, aren't the people that are on the line looking for it, they aren't the people shopping for that kind of stuff. And again, just people get to know the stuff's out there, you know, that I'm out there, trying to help people out here. Well, when I try and say yes to everyone, handyman's my name, but it's not really what I do. You know, a lot of times I'll get calls, oh, can you do a garbage disposal? Can you know, a lot of just actual handyman stuff. So I get a lot of problems in there. We have a website that we update constantly. I've been consulting with a marketing professional, kind of getting the idea. And what I've heard mostly is I'm pushing more toward the devices and what the fix is, opposed to the people and how I can help them, if that makes sense. So I need help with that. We join digital colleges. We're doing all kinds of events, word of mouth, and leaving business cards. I have a computer shops and stuff. I'll leave my cards for people, people are coming in buying computers and then calling the shop constantly, and they like someone to go out and help out. Next slide. Yeah, lessons learned, marketing is not affordable, I'm not really the place where I have the income to justify paying a lot of marketing. Again, outside my scope of work. Yeah, so same stuff.
Can we go to the next?
Better on social media, but who doesn't need to use restaurant? Better on social media.
Yeah, it's just another minute. All right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh. So again, the discussion, how to get to the decision makers. A lot of times I might not be dealing with my client, I might be dealing with adult child or senior groups or stuff like that, how to get in front of them so I can help the people I'm trying to help. How to educate people about what's out there. A lot of this is sci-fi to people, like, oh, you can do that? So it's something that is reality, the future's now. And a better way to market myself, again, going more toward how do we get to where, instead of trying the way my head works is the high-level techie stuff. So when I talk, it's the high-level techie stuff. How do I engage in that conversation more of the people I need to help opposed to the people the way I'm talking? And there's no contact info.
All right, thank you. Thank you, that was really good. So if you want to grab a picture of his screen, we'll put that back up there, but if anyone has any suggestions, Daryl's going to move us back to that community question slide, and if you have any suggestions or experiences or things that you think can help, Tony, please come on up where I am. And we'll see if we can give him some help. All right, John, come on.
Good morning, good presentation. John Gay from Detroit Podcasts. Two things that come to mind. If Oakland County or any local counties have any councils on aging or even the state, I would look into those areas for you so that those are probably where the adult children are coming to figure out how to help their parents, whether they're aging in place, whatever it is. And then also, listen, can I plug a marketing company that I'm starting to work with? It's not here, but does somebody work for me? Okay, so I just started working with a local company called Marketing Cube, Q-U-E-E-D. They did a free consult with me about my business, my website, my SEO, sat down with me, figured out what's important to me, what I want to rank for. I found out my website is not ranking for the things that I want to rank for. And they're going to build me a whole new website and manage my SEO for a year. And they're pretty reasonably priced. I think that would be a good place for you to go, as someone that's kind of a 360 marketing in terms of website SEO and figuring out what you want to do and what you want to rank for.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta go to county. That's right here. A lot of these programs are more.
Agree. Yeah, maybe even state too, but definitely county for sure.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Come on up, Steve.
Hi, I'm Steve. This is going to seem strange, but what I would just suggest, and it's easy for me to suggest, is but pick 5 of your top projects that you think you might want to prioritize, and then make a simple cartoon of them, because then you'd be humanizing the dangerous situation without it being terrifying. So just a simple cartoon, and it would also stick out on the internet or in advertising.
Yep, thank you. I like that.
Good morning, everyone. Hi, it's Melissa McClary Davis. I'm always coming up here. How are you? It's good to see you again. I love your story when we chatted about it. I think, as a marketer, yes, SEO would be great. But one thing that I know that you do well, like you mentioned, is networking. You love to network. So my suggestion to get access to those decision makers is you need to go where they are. So look at trade associations for certain groups. It could be retirement aging groups, as suggested, and just be in the room, be in those rooms with them. Now, in terms of educating people, I think your message, and I think you're right on target, when your message is not about the devices, it's about the pain. Because I stood up when you showed those wires on the side of the, outside of the tunnel. I think people would really resonate if you talk a lot more about the pains of not having this device. So make that really the focal part of your messaging, and also on your website as well, is looking for folks to talk about that pain. I think you kind of honed in on some of your key ideal decision makers. Really just find those people and know everything about them, so that way you can really address that pain.
Like,
Good morning, my name is Lynn Drake, I own Compass Commercial, and a couple things. I did not truly understand what you did until you just gave that presentation, and I know we talked a lot. So I think emphasizing the digital part of it would be useful. Of course, Open Drive, you can get some free hours of consulting. Another thing that I personally do, I've taken my brochures and things, I've dropped them into AI, and then I ask AI to give me 10, 20 posts. So you don't have to do it. The other suggestion I would have is, like, I have a friend that owns a company that helps people that are homebound, and she provides all those services. That would be a great organization to start networking with and introducing your services to. And also, another place where you might want to advertise is the Rochester Old Persons Commission. Are you familiar with it? Okay, so they have like in-house daycare if you have people that have Alzheimer's. They have, it's a gym, it's a beautiful gym, and then they also have social activities, and they also have a great newsletter, and it's hitting all of your ideal clients. I strongly suggest that.
Hi, I'm Jewel Barrett, Precise ABC. I actually do marketing automation, but I have a question for you. So how comfortable are you on camera, like with YouTube videos?
I'm good.
And how committed are you, like which of all your different types of customers, I know you started with this for your son, where's your heart at? Like where would you really, really want to help them?
Yeah, the special needs community, the elderly community, because people have problems with disability issues, problems getting around. I have all kinds of ideas, go to scan with an iPad, I can interact with the world, how many people are just sitting alone in their home.
Okay, so this is what my suggestion would be, is I'm always promoting before you do, there's tons of marketing tools out there, there's a million things, I have a platform, everybody has that. But what I'd love to see you do is take kind of control of your business from a marketing perspective and look at what is it you want to accomplish and who you want to do it for, and then look at your total revenue operation system. In other words, when leads come in the door, what do you do with them? How do you communicate with them? And focus on that community of, because you have a great story with your son, right? So you can use that and communicate it to people and look at your whole process and focus your business that way. Then look and see which of those marketing tools would really support your business the best, and then focus on that. So if you're looking out on Google and people are searching for your services, maybe SEO is the best thing, but maybe there's other things that you could do. So just kind of, look at all of those.
I've had some stuff on SEO and people aren't looking. So I'm not even to that point where.
Right, and the thing you have to remember about SEO too is that, they can drive someone to your website, but once they get there, you gotta hook them, because they'll come and they'll bounce. So what hooks them is your story. What hooks them is what you're excited about. And when they can relate to what you're doing and pull it into their life, then you can,
Go back to what she was saying,
Exactly.
go more towards.
Exactly.
The problems that people are facing, always to fix before the problem.
Exactly. So, and then my other comment was, do you get referrals? Like, how do you go about getting referrals from your existing?
Yeah, I got some referrals here and there.
But how do you actually, what is your
Just get a
process?
card.
Okay,
I just got magnets to start doing magnets instead of cards. If I go to someone's house.
Put it on the refrigerator. And that's through Google? Are you using a Google My Business?
For what? I think that's just different.
Okay, so, I'll give you my number. Let's talk out for a free Boss Connect chat, because one of the, least expensive free things you can do right away is start getting your Google reviews in, okay? So,
Jules, as amazing as you are.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That was really great.
No worries. Tanisha Molden, I'm the owner of Mo Drama Business and Intellectual Property Attorney, but also two of my superpowers is sales and strategy. So I just want to give you like one tactic, because I know that, you said there wasn't a big budget for marketing, but one of your superpowers is networking. And I would simply say, building on what, it was you, what she was just talking about, is to get the lead. So she was talking about the system on, now that we have the lead, what to do, which is very important. So how to get the lead. In a room like this, I would simply walk up to people and ask them, what did I write? Do you know anyone caring for their parents? And the person you're talking to, more likely than not, you're gonna find like 1 out of 3, they're the one that's gonna be. And all you need to do is get their information, and then you put them in the system and just keep it running. And just walk around the room. Do you know anyone caring for their parents? Do you know anyone caring for their parents? Do you know anyone caring for just that? And that's simply my advice. Collect their email and keep it going. Keep it going and see how that works for you and see what comes out of it. And then you can build on that. Then you have something to, data to build on, to build your sales system.
But, I just have one question real quick. You do patent?
No, I'm not a patent attorney. I help with, there's homework that goes into getting a patent. We help with that.
Okay.
And we can talk about that.
Okay, we'll talk.
All right.
Hello.
Hi.
I don't know if this is part of your scaling plan or what you'd like to do, because I know that you go into individuals' homes. However, maybe you can approach some like assisted living spaces or senior living, things like that, and just offer them a free assessment, and then give them the feedback of like, that's great that everybody's has their own little apartment, but is it really accessible? This is how I can help. Maybe, and I don't know about free either, because I don't know how much work that takes, but maybe if you can get into those, even just start attending those sorts of programming with even like Ferndale seniors, they come and do a book club every week and go to those nursing homes or maybe not nursing homes, but independent living spaces and just go to their events and start talking to them and their kids.
Yeah,
Because
that was more about lunch and learn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
As far as like going to the buildings themselves, it's been really, I talked to American House, I talked to some of the buildings, they just,
And it might be different on like independent places like that and like chains of senior living, but I mean, there's one in Hazel Park that I've toured, and they are nice enough to at least listen to the conversation. But that's sales too,
Yeah.
Gotta just show up in their face.
yep, thanks, Carmen.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Janet Chemansky. I'm with the American Business Women's Association. In regards to access to decision makers, have you tried going to like support groups? Because a lot of patients, like if they're in the early stages where their family members starting to forget stuff or start repeating stuff, they might be attending support groups
Okay.
where that would help with access. And with the pharmaceutical industry, more and more rare diseases are coming out. So there's a lot of nonprofit organizations, boards where these decision makers are going to be at. Where if you're going into like a rehab center, you're not going to be able to walk through the door and talk to a decision maker, or even talk to the family because of HIPAA reasons. But I don't know if you've had any experience targeting support groups, like even start with your own family first, where that market is, and then like there's all kinds of markets, cardiovascular, psychiatry. I do have a one-pager that I can provide you with resources throughout the state, but I don't have it on me today.
Okay. Fine, thank you.
One more minute.
I've got a comment online.
Okay, so right after Josh.
Morning, everybody. So I saw the list from Christina earlier, because she shared it with me. I've been asking for it for a year, so thank you for doing that. I mean, the reason I say that is it's really for you, because when you start getting in front of decision makers like adult children, those are the things that they're gonna be able to take that list back to the person that they are actually doing it for. And that emotional big conversation that needs to happen doesn't have to be with you there. They can actually start going through some of these things and seeing what the benefits are, and then come back and then hire you to do those things, because you're not always gonna make that sale necessarily to the end client that you're talking about in that moment, it's something that could happen later. So as you're working on your website, I would think about putting some of those things up there, because if they're like, oh, I think that Tony does that, when they hit your website and they see your checklist of the things that you can do, they can then go sell that for you, and then you can come into something that's actually like ready for people to hire you to do, versus having to convince them once you're in the room. It'll be ready for you.
Yeah. Or, the conversation.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 'Cause you don't want to be the owner of the emotional conversation necessarily. Let that stuff happen behind the scenes, and then when you come in, you can do the work.
Okay, thank you.
Can you pass it to Daryl?
Sure.
Thank you, that was great. Is the list talking about it?
We got it somewhere.
Tell everybody here.
Kind of like a menu of what I do, just some common products and stuff to get an idea of what's out there.
Go ahead, Daryl.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning to our online community. Apologies for some of the digital snafus, but we're trying to make it better. Vicki Winkler online, who also has been a coffee sponsor in the past, and she jumps on every week virtually, so thank you, Vicki. Her comment was for the special needs community, print rack cards or brochures and bring them to organizations like New Horizons Rehabilitation Services, Easter Seals, Benton Farms, and et cetera. I'm sure you know all about those organizations. And their clients always need trusted solutions for things like this. Then there are also targeted mailing lists for seniors that are still in their homes. So good feedback from our online community.
Awesome, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So I have a quick question for you before we wrap up, all right? What's one piece of advice that you got today that you think you might be able to turn into action, maybe at the end of this week or even next week?
Well, just building a list of people.
Oh, people, list of people.
She was talking
Yes,
about
okay,
their
okay.
emails, get
All
them
right.
out there, stuff like that. Yep.
All right, wonderful. Thank you very much for presenting today, Tony. Daryl, can you advance the slides? I don't know if our clicker is working. This is just a reminder, if you haven't signed in, Milton over here is standing up. He has the sign-in list that we've been passing around. So if you need that, you can raise your hand. He'll pass that over to you, or you can use this QR code here to sign in for the 1 Million Cups community. All right, I'd like to bring up our next presenter, Ian. Ian, you got about 5 minutes for presentation, 15 minutes for Q&A.
All right, well, welcome back. This is my third time now doing this. This is an update. I started my business a year ago. We said we don't have a clicker.
Do we have a clicker? Well, it wasn't working, but let's try. Okay, here you go. You can click.
Fabulous.
Here you go.
Alrighty, so my story as an entrepreneur starts out with a lot of people. I worked in corporate for many years. I did automotive event marketing for Nissan North America in Milwaukee, and I moved over here to work for GM, but like all of us, most of us, we end up being laid off by one individual at some point in our life. So after a couple layoffs and having kind of a tumultuous market, I worked at an apothecary startup, and that was really fun, hands-on, learned a business from the top down. And it ended up leading my business. So I did event marketing, so I could do setups, tear downs, and just really get to locations and do good route mapping. And I also knew how to make natural products. So at the time, there really aren't any natural auto care products. They are laden with full of chemicals and weird fragrances. And so I tied in my natural apothecary startup to start 2 businesses. One is the automotive detail, or the detailing side of it, where I come out to you and detail your vehicle with my custom non-toxic products. And then the other part is, if you want to do it yourself, I also sell the products as well. But for the sake of being here today and getting some concise feedback, I'm focusing on the detailing aspect of the business. Right now, that brings in more revenue for me to just keep my head afloat, because like all those monthly bills, they seem to come every 30 days. So I gotta keep paying those. So if you want to visit my website, well, you know, I'm talking, feel free to.
Might want to step back just a smidge more. So you guys, is that good here?
I know, I feel like, you know, got
I know
over
the
here,
look.
I'm gonna have to, you know, walk a straight line, do these things backwards.
All right, I'm good.
So, you know, the first year challenge is really figuring out who my customers are, where I make the most money, and how to just balance everything. So First year's been pretty interesting. I've focused mostly on just consumers, the one-offs, things like that. And
Keep driving.
it's okay. So focusing on that aspect right now, but really what I'd like to do is get more into business side of things, especially as people are back into the office. They have less time to do household stuff that they used to. And I'd really like to get more like kind of set up for one day in the business and do multiple vehicles so that I don't have to bounce around the metro area, especially with 696 shut down. I'm originally from Milwaukee and I feel as though the construction's coming with me. I don't remember most of my life not in construction. So I'm always especially worried if I get a client over on that end, it's gonna be, half my day that is just spent commuting and not making money. Also, it's just having a good value proposition because cleaning your car is not a fun topic. So how do you make that fun? And then also identify the fact that it is all natural, non-toxic, and produced organically. So just figuring out that pitch and making something that's not fun has been a unique challenge that I'm still going to today. Most of them, my customers are in the metro area, specifically in Detroit and around here in Ferndale. I live in Hazel Park. So especially since I commute to location, distance is a huge factor. So I really would like to get within 15 minutes, preferably honestly downtown. I kind of like being there a lot more and I've had clients in that area. So we have, non-toxic products. It's kind of, I want the brand to be fun, light, easy. It's something that you never will have to stop cleaning your car. It's something that, no matter what, you are gonna always have to have it done. So I just wanna be consistent and get repeat customers and have, that repeat business year round because, like I said, no matter what, we all get our cars dirty.